Oklahoma Republican Senator James Lankford is a member of the Finance Committee, and he joins me now. Senator, thanks for joining us. Another hot mic moment. I think, though, a lot of people probably felt that this was already part of the game plan. What's the response from the Republican Party?
It's not shock, I can tell you that, because publicly Democrats will talk about unity and we need to find bipartisanship. Obviously, in private, they pull aside and say, we're going to try to run over all Republicans. We don't want to hear their ideas. We want to take off on as liberal of an agenda as we can. Listen, as you mentioned before, everyone knows that infrastructure is a basic responsibility of government. Roads, bridges, fences on the border, how we're going to actually manage water, all of those things. Everybody gets that that's a responsibility of government. So the only reason that they would immediately say first thing that we're going to do is to try to go after reconciliation, try to do a 51, is they're going to try to cram the Green New Deal into this infrastructure plan and to say don't look at the details, just know this is about roads and bridges and Wi-Fi, and really it's going to be about a Green New Deal and completely redoing the tax code. So we'll see what they end up proposing out there, but there's no reason they would have to do this partisan.
Yeah, there's no way this could be what we traditionally think about as infrastructure. There's, because everyone, to your point, would agree on it. We just got an update from the American Society of Civil Engineers. We need about $3 trillion worth of work. We got a C-. We used to have a D-. Everyone agrees there should be something done. And to hijack this process, it might be par for the course. But you also believe at some point there's going to be some public pushback against these kind of things, don't you?
I would hope that there would be. By the way, everywhere where someone sees an orange pylon among any highway in America right now, that's infrastructure that's already going on right now. So Democrats are trying to say nothing's been done, there is no infrastructure that's going on right now. Everyone who's driving around construction is seeing the result of infrastructure work that's already happening. The question is, what else needs to be done? And there will always be additional things that need to be done. But the key for us is we ought to work together to do this. I would suspect that their bridge projects, their tunnel projects, all the things that they didn't get into the previous one, they're going to try to get into this one and come in a different shot to do their own transportation earmarks and to cram the Green New Deal down Americans' throat.
When these bills are this large, $2 trillion, $3 trillion, to your point earlier, there are a lot of surprises in there. One that I think a lot of people don't know about, you've attempted to address today with the State Fiscal Flexibility Act. This was really an amazing thing. Can you explain quickly to the audience what exactly was put into this rescue package and why it's so deleterious to the independence of individual states?
It is actually. They put out $350 billion they're giving to cities and states, saying this is what's needed. When, by the way, Moody's said the maximum amount of loss across the country was $56 billion. They threw $350 billion with a caveat into it to say you can spend it any way you want to, but you can't reduce taxes in your state for the next 3 years. So they're literally reaching into every state that's doing well economically, and there are quite a few states that are doing fine economically. Their revenue is not down, and saying you can't return money back to your own people through whatever tax piece is out there, but you can spend as much as you want. It is the ultimate Democrat no cutting of taxes, just increasing of spending. They're doing it on the federal side now, and they're now mandating it on the state side. That is brand new, never been done before, and certainly not COVID related.
Senator, I've got a minute left. I do want your thoughts on the crisis at the border, where now everyone acknowledges it's a crisis. CNN headline, crisis. USA Today, a surge. San Francisco Chronicle, a crisis. The Hill saying this threatens President Biden's political momentum. What are your thoughts about what's happening on our southern border?
Yeah, the Biden team the very first day said the emergency is over at the border, and then 6 weeks later they've sent out federal emergency management administration to try to manage what's going on there because there is an emergency. I was down in Arizona this weekend looking at the fence that they stopped construction on because Biden just said we're going to do no more construction. What we have is a long fence with big gaps in it where they were going to put up the gates for just all these miles and miles and miles. The gates are literally laying on the ground, and so they're wide open. Technology has not been installed, no cameras, no lighting, no ground sensing detection. All of those things have stopped along the southern border where they literally have the very first stage up, but wide open fences. There's only one reason that you would block this momentum of the construction to leave those gates wide open, and that is you really never wanted a fence to be there. You want this to be wide open. So finish the technology. We already have the contracts for it. Finish the last piece of it, closing in the gates, and get this thing done.
Absolutely. Senator Lankford, thank you very much.